Hi, this is JilliBling. I have another project using two-tone Flora. What do you think? Isn't that beautiful? I especially love the inside. So this is done with cherry cobbler and gold embossing powder. And then the leaves I did on Mossy Meadow paper, Mossy Meadow ink, and then clear embossing powder. A little bit of sparkle. So that's today's project. We'll be using two-tone Flora and also Peaceful Moments. I love this set. The words are great. I love the font. I love the size of the font, and it covers so many different occasions. So, all kinds of good things over here. This was copied from Carole Parsons. Carole, thank you for sharing. We'll be doing some masking on the inside. Little masking of all these important little parts. Sharpie, Sharpie, I'll show you about that in a minute. Okay, let's start with the bottom of the card and work our way up. So here's the card base. Basic black, very elegant. So this is a series of 5. My paper, it's like, how does that happen? You buy the paper, it should be clean. This is series of 5, and I call it Gotta Have It, where if you buy the bundle from me, you get these 5 card kits for free. And if you can, get them before, let's see, today is the 22nd, like before the 25th, 26th. I'll give you a few days after I get done with all 5 of them. And I'd love to send you the 5 card kits as a thank you. So this die is in two-tone Flora. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to run it through. That's what creates this beautiful background. That goes right on there. And you know, let's stick it down right now. Give it a second to dry. And rather than trying to put glue on the back of that finely detailed background, the gold paper, I'm just going to put it here on the edge. And even if I don't get the glue in the right place, it'll dry clear, so it's fine. Then just stick down the middle. I know I'll put words right here. I'll put a flower here, and a flower there, and over here. And again, if I get my glue in the wrong place, that's okay. Dries clear. Isn't that beautiful? I love this die. I think that's the whole reason I bought this set. The flowers are nice. I like some flowers, but this big die is just, it's breathtaking. I love that. And I think only over here might it pop up. So that could just sit for a minute. Let's stamp the words in gold. And on this one I used Thinking of You with All My Heart. Life is better with a friend like you. Everyone would love a card like that. So how about we do, to me this looks a little bit more maybe wedding or anniversary. So how about if we do something more along those lines? Congratulations, that will fit perfect. Let's do that. So, Embossing Buddy, Versamark. Got a whole lot of things going on here. Congratulations. Okay, and this goes into, do you ever end up working in a tiny little spot like this? I seem to do it every time. gold embossing powder. After each project I clean up though, and it almost looks vacant in here. I clean up so much. Okay, that looks good. So these papers are going to be the words, and oh, I didn't tell you what die sets. Let me pull those out. And are you thinking, wait a minute, the words are longer than the base? That is right here, and then this one just lays over the top. Let's cut these out. And there they are. So I pulled out a Sharpie just because if ever you, this one looks pretty good, if ever you get little gold freckles, because that just happens, just use your Sharpie to dot them. Because it's black, it makes the paper look black. And then this can get stuck on. I love this gold paper. It's so pretty. It's almost brushed. Okay, so let's see how this is doing. I think it's starting to stick down. There, that makes things a little better. And this is just going to be put down flat right in the middle because the flowers will wrap around. So these flowers, doing them in cherry cobbler, first thought to me was love. It really signifies love. But then when I started putting together, I thought, oh, it kind of is looking a little Christmas. Then I thought, oh, what about like pink flowers? But I always do pink flowers. Then after I did this, the inside, I was like, oh, I like it just as it is. Did I get glue over there? Oh no. Just a little, ouch. I was a little crazy. Crazy with that glue. Okay, so that I want to dry. Okay, so for the flowers, I'm going to do 3 flowers, and they will be this one, another big one, and this one, and then the detail in gold over the top. So I'm going to stamp him in cherry cobbler and then put the detail in gold. Did you see the other 2 videos, the prior 2 videos? This was yesterday's. And this was the first one. So that one I did the detail in the black embossing powder. And then this one is just Memento ink and lots of Stella. But if you don't know what to do with this set, I'll give you some ideas. Okay, let's stamp some flowers in cherry cobbler. Cherry cobbler. Isn't that pretty? Little one. Cherry. You know, that one, the center of the flower, I might have pushed too hard because I see a few little freckles in there. Might do that one over again. And yes, polymer ink gets stained, so just a little bit hard. Ooh, that's better. Then the big one with the flower centers, right there. So pretty. Okay. And so I remember this one I could see the center better. This one is a no. No thank you. And I'm going to let that dry just a little bit because I'll use Versamark and then the gold powder. I don't want the gold powder sticking to the moisture in the cherry cobbler stamp. So just let that dry. So for the leaves, I'm going to do 4 leaves on here in Mossy Meadow. So Mossy Meadow paper, Mossy Meadow ink, and quickly I will get them into clear embossing powder. Are you thinking, what are you doing? Can you do that? If you were quick enough, you could use any ink, such as a dye-based ink, to put clear powder on it, and it will make it embossed. Kind of fun. So I'm getting it all ready. Get my little spoon ready, and it doesn't have to be that quick, but the quicker you get it, the more moisture is still in the stamp, the more powder you get on it. So 4 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, into the powder. Look at that. It worked. Woot woot. Good thing. And now I'm going to heat set these little leaves. And just as a FYI, they don't come out perfectly smooth, probably as we wish that they would, but it's still kind of a cool, fun thing to do. And they kind of have that orange peel look, but they definitely are heat embossed. Okay, let's work on this. So to make sure there's no moisture left in the cherry cobbler flower image, I'm going to take my embossing buddy, go over the top. I'm being a little bit generous with it, with a little tap. Usually I just, not smear, just brush it over the top. But if there's any moisture on it, I really don't want to get cherry ink on my embossing buddy. Okay, so that's good. So now, Versamark, and I'm going to put the detail on. Okay, with gold. So I'm going to get the little flower centers lined up, and then twist the stamp just a little. I was twisting the stamp just a little to make sure that the outside detail edge lines up with my cherry cobbler image, and it looks good. That one looks good. That one, the little half moon, I was getting that lined up, this half moon with this half moon. Oh, and another thing is it will leave, if there's moisture in the ink, the cherry cobbler ink, it left a little bit of the cherry on my stamp. So if I were to use it again, you can't see too much. I need to clean that. Otherwise, your Versamark pad, it will get all cherry cobbler like. Okay, and again, I was using the little flower center and then the outside edges to line up the detail stamp. Okay, let's put gold embossing powder onto these lovely flowers. Might need to get some more gold embossing powder. It's getting a little skimpy down in there. Usually when it gets to the bottom, it has all kinds of random color pieces, like a little bit of lint. I don't know what that is, but it's time to dump it out and get fresh. Aren't those pretty? So looking at this one, the embossing powder did stick to the cherry cobbler ink. Probably not my favorite, but it's gilded. But I did get the center lined up really well on all of them. Because see how the gold outlines the center, just like the cherry cobbler the bold stamp does? Okay, so there are dies for all of these, but I hand cut them just because I wanted like a perfect little vanilla colored border, and on the leaves too. But you could use the die cuts much quicker, but I was kind of having a little bit of fun with cutting. I like cutting just a little bit, and I have my quota for today. So here they are, hand cut. Oops. This one, now hand cut the 4 of them right there. And some masks. Okay, let's get to building this thing. So, dimensionals. And you know what, somebody the other day said, where do you get your dimensionals? My dimensionals, I just put packing tape over it so that I don't have to deal with all those little pieces. And I have a video on it. It's a really quick video. Not that it's hard, but if you scroll way back, that was one of my first videos. Just because everyone always says, oh, where do you get them? Stampinup. Stampinup is where I get them. And then Amazon sends me packing tape. That's all a girl needs. It's so worth it. It's so noisy. Running the packing tape machine, gizmo, whatever that is, the handle, the cutter. Okay. And I purposely put the dimensionals on so I could still tuck the little leaves underneath. Pretty. And let's do, I could use that glue. So these just get stuck in underneath the flowers, wherever you think they need to go. Oh, and next we'll do rhinestones. So, like the last project, I'm going to color my rhinestones. I thought that turned out pretty well. Last time we did parakeet party rhinestones. Ooh, those are pretty. This time they're going to be mossy meadow dark blends to color them in. One time there was a Christmas card kit Stampin' Up! Offered, and it had the most beautiful deep green rhinestones, and oh my gosh, I loved them. I had no idea you could use blends to give them color, but these kind of remind me of that. Congratulations! Okay, so we could just let that sit for a minute and do the rhinestones. This is for the inside. So the rhinestones, how did I get this paper? It's like, why does that powder on it? That's my embossing paper. Okay, so mossy meadow, and I'm going to do random size rhinestones. And I like to use the brush tip. So I'll do a large one, medium one, small one, and another small one. How many do I put on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 2 layers, and then I'll do the other side of it. I'm just getting one side, and I'm avoiding the glue dot underneath the rhinestone, because the alcohol will dissolve the adhesive. Okay, there are my beautiful rhinestones. And at this point you're like, okay, yeah, they look a little green, but they're so perfect for this card. Isn't that beautiful? It's just kind of like a sprinkling of extra leaves. I think lately I've been putting colored rhinestones on everything. But they're pretty. Should put there. I have some glue overage. How about right there? Rhinestones. Okay, the front is done. So for the inside, I went crazy with the glue. Oh. Hey, we know what will be the back. I hope. I guess I could cut that off, but it looks pretty square on here. I think it's okay. Okay, so congratulations. And what kind of words? Congratulations. Wishing you every happiness a special day will bring. That's good for congratulations. So that can go right here in gold embossing powder. Versamark. Oh, that would have fit well on there too. Okay, so now for the flowers at the bottom. I love how this one turned out. So let's do it just like that. So the big one in the center in cherry cobbler. Cherry cobbler right there. Oh, so pretty. And this little one, it's not really that little, but I'm looking at the flower center just because I think if I did another large size one, I wouldn't be able to have the, not really a pyramid, but a little bit rounded bow shape image. So this is going to go on here. It's my mask. The mask I cut out of a Post-it. Has a little bit of sticky still up here. And this one kind of leaning off to the side a little bit. And then on the other side. Good. Good, good, good. Now, time for the gold. And then I'll do the green. And this time I'll do the green just plain green, as I did here. So for the gold, I had to get rid of the moisture from the cherry cobbler ink, and I'll do that with Embossing Buddy. I'm kind of careful this time about the Embossing Buddy because I was just swishing over it and I noticed a hint of cherry cobbler on my buddy. It's like, oh, I don't want to smear that on the rest or other projects, but I think it's okay. Okay, so that might be a lot, but I hope it's going to work out here. So I'll do the first one in gold, heat it, and then I'll come back and do the other two. I'll show you why in just a minute. I think logic here in just a minute, you'll go, oh, yeah, I know why you did that. So this is the big one with the flower centers. Versamark. Line up the centers. Line up the edges. And do it. Okay. You notice how I'm really careful about moving stuff away, putting lids on? I've had so many accidents. One time I was heating and the heat tool blew right into my powder and went all over my room. I will never do that again. That was such a mess, and it's like for years I was finding it was black embossing powder. Okay. So this one is good. And I noticed a little bit of gold powder on my cherry cobbler down here at the bottom. But I'm going to just pretend like I planned that. These are my gilded flowers. That's what it is. So I will put this mask on so I could get the gold detail on these little guys. And now you're like, oh, now I know why you did this one first. Because if this had Versamark on it and I put this on top, wouldn't do me any favors. It just kind of mess up the prettiness. Okay, there's one. Okay, gold powder time. Okay, now it just needs some leaves. When you look at the two of them, this is pretty, but the leaves make it like much more realistic and kind of comes to life. So, leaves time. This one doesn't have any sticky on it. You know, we were talking about inventions the other day. Like, what would we do without a refrigerator? And back in the day, how they had ice boxes. Then we were talking about light bulbs. We're talking about cell phones and Post-its. I use me some Post-its, that's for sure. Okay, and I'm going to try not to overdo it with my leaves. Definitely at the ends to kind of stretch out the image. Maybe one more. Okay, that's it. Isn't that pretty? And then when you layer it on black, and I don't know if you could tell, this paper is very warped from all the heat embossing. Therefore, I'm going to use tear tape. Tear in tape. Because this will definitely hold it down. Hey, success! You know, I had that little spot on there, and I thought, oh, I always have to turn the paper over. I always seem to do one whoops. Today's a good day. Today, Mama and I were doing errands. We're getting our nails done. Kind of liking this purple color. Tear. You could tear it. It's terrible. And because I did it in one piece, I could pull it off in one piece. That's like when you peel the apple and you try to get the whole thing off at once, or the orange peel. Yep, this is kind of in the stampin' room similar. Look at that, one piece. Okay, that's a sample. Oh, I didn't do the bow on the front. I knew there was something missing. Isn't that beautiful? It's just elegant. Yes. Okay, so for the bow, I'm going to do a double bow using Simply Elegant trim. Brand new pack. So I'll do a double bow. I have a video on that too. You have to scroll way back. That was one of my first videos because I knew everyone always asked me, make me a double bow. I think I show it like 5 or 6 times over with different fibers. Okay, this is how you do it. So that one's convenient too. Ooh, today we talked about my 2 favorite videos. Right when COVID started, and I was here at home all by myself, not doing classes. Like, what am I gonna do? So I thought I'd face my fear and try YouTube. Okay, there's a double bow. Is that just the sweetest thing? And a glue dot. A glue dot. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it over because that big old glue dot is a little bit too big. And then go right here. Then I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue to seep in the cracks. Good thing it's going to dry clear. but that will really lock it down. Oop, I have a big old bubble there. Okay, looks ugly now, but once it dries, can't see a thing. Like on the sample. You didn't know I loaded it up with liquid glue. Okay, so it's soaking in already. Okay, so that's it for today's project. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you'd like to have this bundle. I'd love to send you card kits for free. Okay, have a great day. Bye.